You know, one of the strangest things I found when Meghan Markle was promoting that Netflix show, As Ever with Love Meghan, the cooking thing, right, was, if you remember in the interview, I think she said on Drew Barrymore, can't quite remember now because they all sort of blend into one. And you know, none of it really is true, but of course it's there to grab headlines. But if you remember, Meghan said that, well, you know, her children were actively involved in really helping her. Archie was doing the clapperboard and Lily was doing all sorts of stuff, and there were regular visitors to the set. Now, I've spoken to many people who worked on that set, and they're all very much under NDAs, non-disclosure agreements, right? Nobody remembers them ever turning up to the set. So were they introduced as Lily and Archie, or were they maybe the children of somebody else to confuse the staff or the crew? I mean, remember, Meghan said there was an 80 crew literally in that rented house. I told you that wasn't possible, and I would still stand by that. Fascinating in itself. But then Meghan's decided that really what we want to know is more about her children. Even though contradictory, she said, you know, my children are not for sale, I'm not going to put them up on a silver platter. But of course, you know, when you're trying to sell something, particularly when actively everything is waning in your favour, then you turn to the children. Merch the kids, as the people say. But this is really mind-boggling, to say the least. Let me explain. Chums, lovely to see you today. Thank you so much as ever for taking the time out to join me. It is a funny, we'll have a wave, sorry, I know, I'm forgetting, I get very engrossed. It is a funny thing though, isn't it, you know, because, I mean, whatever you think, there they were sort of chastising William and Catherine for allowing their children to be photographed every year and put out for public consumption. And really, if you sort of put the two kids aside or whatever, you know, the three children from the Waleses and the two from Harry, well, when you think about it, who's got the better lifestyle? You know, they're very much left alone. They're seemingly very happy, and they've got a very buoyant sort of connection with life, nature, and other people. Other side of the coin is when you look at it, there you have, well, Archie and Lily with no real connection seemingly to anybody. Meghan herself claims they both go to two different schools, and that's what takes her an hour a day. If, of course, she manages to squeeze it in and doesn't really just dish it out to the nanny or the mother Doria. But what's interesting to see is last weekend she decided to reveal to the world Lily Speaks. And as I told you, this was like the Greta Garbo film. Suddenly we're getting now more and more sort of titillation from those children. But I've been told from an excellent source that this isn't her voice at all. What it actually is put through a thing called Audition, which is on Mac computer, and that distorts the voice, so that apparently people don't really know what she sounds like at all. On top of all of that, this particular individual has pointed out that on occasions the children go out in wigs, a la Michael Jackson. Do you remember when Michael Jackson used to send his children out covered in blankets and wigs and hats and all that sort of stuff? Apparently the paranoia is at that level. Now, I would say that given the fact that nobody, apart from maybe Auntie Serena, who's seen the children up close, who or how would anybody know who these two children are? And it's very alarming to think, isn't it, that Meghan is actually going to such extreme levels to distort the voice, because surely the kid would want to hear it back and say, well, that's not me. But what story does she tell them? Now, either way, this is Meghan's idea of getting more connectable, basically to say, you know, look, I'm cooking with my children in my kitchen and everything's hunky-dory. But with everything with Meghan and Harry, this just paints a rather absurd picture. Now, I, for one, wouldn't suspect, or indeed I understand in the celebrity world, why they'd want to hide their children away. But you make a decision. It's one or the other. You either share them or you don't. And these little wild, weird tidbits from Lily and Archie just make it even more mysterious, and in fact make sure that those internet rumours grow and grow. What do you think? Neil Sean in the very heart of London.